Hello everyone and welcome to day 4 of Vlogmas. So it is currently 7:30 at night. I have not gotten any footage before this, so my apologies if this is a pretty crappy Vlogmas, but we've got a few things to do tonight and I'm hoping that'll save it. Basically, I was really tired, so I slept until it was basically time to leave for work. And then at work, I hurt my back. So for those of you that don't know, I hurt my back around my birthday this year, so around 2 months ago. And it has been feeling better, but then today it started hurting again, except way, way worse. And I'm currently icing it because I can barely move. And I've got to work tomorrow. Because also, for those of you that don't know, this was my first week at work, and at the job that I'm at, housekeeping for the motel, typically they give you like 3 days to work and then 1 day off, but a few unfortunate events happened and we're basically short-staffed. So this was my 4th day working in a row, and tomorrow will be my 5th day. And so yeah, I'm kind of panicking about my back. I need to heal it somehow overnight so that I can work tomorrow and not have to call off my first week. So yeah, but I had a little nap, I'm icing my back, I've got my coffee, and it is time to do something I've been excited for. So tonight is the full moon in Gemini, and I really love zodiac stuff, and I've been waiting for this full moon because it's the last full moon of the year. And people are saying it's the perfect time to do like a big brain dump and then like a review of your 2025. So that is what we are going to attempt to do now. I just pulled up a blank Notion page and I'm just gonna type out whatever comes to my mind, and I might delete it or I might not. We'll see. Okay, so the brain dumping is making me strangely emotional, so I am taking a quick snack break. We're gonna pop these in the air fryer. I genuinely have to cook my chicken nuggets for like double the time that they suggest, by the way, because I like them really crispy, and if I do it for just the 8 minutes that they suggest on the bag, they're never crispy. So I do it at 400 for 15 minutes instead. Now also, if you are watching my Vlogmas, then you are my best friend, okay? You are now one of my besties if you're watching Vlogmas, especially if you've made it this far into the video. So I'm going to share something with you that is probably embarrassing, and it is a snack that I like to have sometimes, girl dinner, and it's pretty much like probably the most lame snack you can think of in terms of like nutritional value. Now, haters are gonna say that this is too much cheese, especially considering I've already had 2 of these earlier, but I think it's just the right amount. Okay, I turned on my big light just for this segment, even though I hate my big light because it's so cool toned, but it's time for the cat's daily toy. I don't know what this is. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. I think I've got to undo this twisty tie. It's like a sparkle twisty tie. Bear with me. Yes. Okay, wait, you guys, they're gonna love this. They're gonna love this. 1 second, baby. Wait, they're gonna love this. Oh my God. Oh. Yeah. Oh, there's my heating pad. Don't mind that. No, your brother's gotta have a turn. Oh, get it, baby. They're gonna love this. They love strings, you guys. Come on, baby. Sometimes it takes a lot of effort to get Mr. Cat to play. Alright, you guys, I was originally going to paint my nails and talk with you guys about kind of like my yearly recap, but the cats are acting up, so I'm just gonna yap without painting my nails, and maybe we'll paint my nails tomorrow. But I just kind of want to give you guys like a general yearly recap. For those of you that are new, it can serve as like a little get to know me and get to know the vibes, and for those of you who have been here for a while, it could be a little life update, but just bear with me while I yap for a minute. So first and foremost, 2025 has been the hardest year of my entire life. And I don't say that lightly. It started out like literally January 11th. My mom had like a heart health event. It turned out that her electrolytes were like dangerously low, and it was causing a heart arrhythmia and like AFib attacks. And if she hadn't have gotten her like electrolytes back up, she could have gone into cardiac arrest. But at the time that it happened, everyone thought it was a heart attack. She got rushed to the hospital. It was scary. And my dad has had strokes in the past, so I've already experienced what it felt like to think that my dad might die. And then this year I experienced what it felt like for my mom to potentially die. And then that happened. My uncle got diagnosed with cancer. Thankfully, he had surgery and had like my entire world. My cat had a massive health scare and almost died. And he is still having health problems. Because he has FIC now, which he never had before, but he has FIC and FIV, because I rescued him from outside. And then, as everything was kind of like winding down and it was getting close to my birthday, I found out that my grandma is having a very significant heart issue. They ran some tests, and essentially her valve is almost closed. It's just really not good news. In fact, it's really bad, and I love my grandma. Again, for those of you that don't know, I live right next to her, and I have for 3 years, intentionally, because I wanted to be able to take care of her. And I have, and I do. But all that to say, I'm very close with my grandma. And so that news is kind of like the cherry on top of this terrible year of like facing my worst fear over and over again, which is someone or something I love being sick. But the thing that I really wanted to talk about with this is that even though this has been the hardest year of my life, I'm so proud of myself for like being more resilient than I ever thought I could be. Because also this year, I overcame my driving anxiety. I didn't get my license until I was 21 because I was so scared of driving. And even after that, I still would put off driving anytime I got the chance. I did exposure therapy on myself, essentially, for months and months. Forcing myself to drive even though I was convinced I was going to die every single time, to the point where now, when my mind feels cluttered and I need to relax, I literally drive as a way to relax. That's a big deal for me. A big deal. And then also, for those of you that are new here, I have worked from home ever since I was 18 until now. In the past week, I just got my first in-person job. So for 5 years, I worked from home. and I sort of developed like a fear of going out, a fear of talking to people in person. And after I got over my driving anxiety, I started using the same formula, just exposure therapy, time and time again, where now I can go in pretty much anywhere and talk to pretty much anyone and be fine. And that's a big deal, because just a few months ago, I was genuinely having panic attacks trying to go into Walmart to pick up my grandma's prescriptions for her. So, big strides. And that was not easy for me to do. Like, these are things that, you know, if you've never struggled with anxiety of this type, you might take it for granted a little bit. But it's not. These are things that are not easy for me. And then, like I said, in this past week, I got my first in-person job, which is something that I wasn't sure at one point in my life that I would ever be able to do, and I'm doing it. And so all that to say, like, this year has been the hardest year of my life, but it's proven to me how resilient I am, and I'm really, really proud of myself for making as many strides as I have, even though I've been more stressed than I've ever been, which is therefore making my mental health worse than it's ever been. So, because I made a video about this, but I have OCD. Pretty certain, I'm 100% certain that I have OCD, because it's like a textbook case, and I've had it ever since I was a little kid. Maybe I'll get a diagnosis in the future, but I also have a fear of doctors, and that's a totally different thing that I have to overcome. But I have OCD. I have a lot of just like general anxiety stuff. I am 99% certain that I have ADHD, because again, pretty textbook case, and my dad has it. And my mental health has not been the best this year because of all the stuff that's happened. So I'm just so proud of myself for pushing through all that and still making strides in my life. So yeah. With that, I think Vlogmas Day 4 is finished. So I'm gonna go edit this video now and then go to bed and hope I wake up with my back feeling better. I know it was a little bit of a yap heavy Vlogmas, but honestly, I didn't expect to be working tomorrow will make 5 days in a row, so I thought today would be a day off. So I promise at some point Vlogmas will get more exciting. Probably, maybe. But if you watched this far, thank you. If you want to watch more Vlogmas videos, even though they can be a little boring, subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow.